Welcome to Propaganda Patrol. Uh, I'd like to open this with the definition of propaganda: information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. Um, this definition is going to be important as we look into some of the articles I have pulled up. In fact, we're going to start with GOP congressman defends Trump and Musk in front of booing constituents. Ooh, oh boy. All right, so this is taking place in Wisconsin, I think. Yeah, Wisconsin, in a Wisconsin town hall. Okay. Uh, Wisconsin, as you might know, is a purple state, uh, and is a very mixed opinionated state. Okay. Um, we're going to listen to these people and see what they have to say and see how CNN specifically um, frames this video. So let's get into this.
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already.
Oh, goodness. That's just the start. Oh, no. These people are mad. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. All right, let's get into this.
In Wisconsin, constituents showered two Republican congressmen with boos in two contentious town halls.
He's
Yeah, as we heard before.
getting rid of the DEI.
That strong a reaction to they're getting rid of DEI? Oh, no. Okay. So DEI is a extremely broad term. It involves everything from veterans benefits, for example, Yale accepting a certain number of veterans, to such as JD Vance, uh, to uh, race and gender quotas in colleges, like Alan Back, who was denied from medical school because of his race. Um, DEI is one of those things I'm not completely against, but I'm also extremely not for because it can be very dangerous and basically create a system of racism. So let's get into let's continue this.
At the town halls, Elon Musk's role in the Trump White House was
Oh goodness, they're making this about Musk. Oh boy. So Musk is a very controversial figure nowadays. He's done interesting some interesting poses on stage, and some people have taken that as he is a uh, national socialist. We'll go with that. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. He's very rich, and national socialists don't exactly treat the rich class very well. But let's see where this goes with that.
a concern.
Are you going to subpoena him at some point? Are you, after you're done with the budget or whatever, are you willing to use your subpoena power to say, Trump, or sorry, Musk, come in here, stand in front of Congress, and answer some hard questions?
So, why are they concerned about subpoenaing Musk right now? I mean, the biggest issue is how much money is being wasted in our government. And let's say everything Doge has been saying is true. Doge being um, the government, I say this in quotes, agency in charge of cutting massive overspending. Let's say everything they say is true. The issue shouldn't be subpoenaing Musk still. We should be subpoenaing all the officials who've been benefiting off this just blatant scamming of the American people. But I digress. Let's.
Certainly the discussion in and around Doge and with the probationary moves that have already been done, they're going to have to be scrutinized at some point.
I would like to know what you
gosh,
feel in
And as he just said, they have to be scrutinized, and they will be scrutinized after they're finished, not right now. So, look at Musk right here. All right, let's continue.
this issue of an unelected person having so much power.
Unelected person. This argument makes me so mad. Oh my gosh. I'm not even mad. It's just like, it's the most frustrating argument people can come up with. Uh, of course he's unelected, but it's not like people who voted for Trump voted for Elon Musk to do this. It's not like people didn't vote for this. Like, people want this to happen. So this whole, oh, but he's unelected, it doesn't matter. He's there, he's doing his job, let him do his job. He's not done anything just absolutely terrible. If he does something like extremely wrong, I would understand being this outraged. But what he's doing is saving you money right now, if everything they're saying is true. Uh, this is a frustrating argument.
Power.
I don't think Elon Musk, he doesn't have the power to do anything. But President Trump is signed
Gosh,
off.
they're so
Ukraine, also a topic of discussion, with Congressman Scott Fitzgerald disagreeing.
Why are we making this about Ukraine? This is about the booing constituent. Okay, never mind. No, take me back. No. Okay.
With President Trump's false claim that Ukraine started the war.
No, Ukraine didn't.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Trump for say. I mean that wasn't exactly the best thing to say in the moment. And people can support Trump, but they really don't need to treat him like a sort of king. Okay, he's human, he makes mistakes, and that was certainly a very big mistake to insinuate that Ukraine started the war, because they certainly didn't. They're just defending their homeland. Uh, though the situation is extremely stupid, complicated. Um, I just don't think Trump said the right words there. He should have worded it differently. But I'm pretty sure what he's trying to do. This is my own opinion. Don't take this for gospel. He's trying to get on Putin's good side, so that the U.S. and Russia will have better relations. Because for the past, goodness, since the start of the Cold War, even since like before the Cold War, the United States and Russia have not had the best, I mean, relations with each other. So I do think working with Putin is a good idea, but I'm not going to be alarmist and say Trump is bowing to Putin, but I'm also going to be cautious and say we need to watch and see where this is going. So let's continue.
Start the war.
Have you expressed your opinion to Trump?
To Donald Trump, no.
Why?
No.
Because he stood there for
Congressman Fitzgerald.
Why? I mean, what?
To Donald Trump, no.
why? Because he stood there for
Congressman Fitzgerald then pivoted to defending Trump.
And I don't think.
Okay, pivoted. A Republican congressman is basically obliged to defend Trump, as part of the GOP, as part of the Democratic Party, as part of any party. You kind of have to follow their game plan, and right now the GOP's game plan is resting on Trump. So pretty much everything he said is in defense of Elon Musk, Trump. It's not because he's like bound to protect him. He is bound to protect him because that's what his party wants from him. Okay, so it's not like he's pivoting to defend Trump. His entire arguments has been pretty much defending the actions of current President Donald Trump. So
Think that the president's
Whatever.
goals are not what everybody wants, which is to end the
yeah, that's definitely true.
war.
According to CNN affiliate WTMJ, no Trump supporters spoke up at Congressman Fitzgerald's town.
Well, let's think about why no Trump supporters spoke up. I can't exactly place my finger as to why they might not. Let's take this back a little bit.
In two contentious town halls.
He's getting rid of the DEI.
So, I don't know about you, but I'm not speaking up when the crowd sounds like this.
Congressmen with
let's
booths
listen
in
one more
two
time.
contentious town halls.
He's getting rid of the DEI.
Who in their right mind would stand up to that? Uh, I mean, those could be your coworkers, your boss. I mean, you can be fired in the United States for having a different opinion from your boss. Uh, no one in their right mind just stand up to that kind of just scrutiny, that kind of booing. That's just not. I mean, it's not realistic to assume someone should stand up to that. I don't know what this commenter's expecting from the Republicans in the room, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's onto something.
Spoke up at Congressman Fitzgerald's town hall.
Do you feel heard after today?
I feel more motivated.
I'm not gonna.
Motivated to do what? To be against Trump? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're motivated to do that since he won. If you look on the news, I mean, I could probably pull it up. I'm not going to, but I could pull up tons of news articles of protests. They're happening every single day. People are fired up. It's not like you're more fired up after a single town hall. Let's listen to what this guy has to say.
Sit back and just assume that it'll all work out.
This is where the rubber
I mean, yeah,
meets the road.
that's kind of part of politics. You can't exactly just assume it's going to work out. So I'm glad that guy's kind of come to that realization. Um, but yeah, let's pivot over to a another news article, and I'm gonna do one of this is called one of the most important jobs in America and American politics has turned into a nightmare. Uh, I wonder what this job could be. You know, has turned into a nightmare. I can't exactly think of a few jobs. Maybe I mean the Speaker of the House keeps getting fired. The President is a stupid hard job. Everyone hates JD Vance for some reason. I don't understand why. Uh, but let's look at this. Winning a majority party nomination for the Speaker. Okay, I was right. The Speaker of the House usually elevates a lawmaker into the pantheon of American political leaders. I like that word. I like that phrase. The pantheon of American political leaders. I think that's very smart words. But such is the toxicity of the GOP. Uh, I mean, CNN. Like, what the heck? You don't have to immediately throw the, oh, I hate the GOP, sucker punch. Uh, if that was a joke, by the way. I mean, the toxicity of the GOP. That whole the whole firing the Speaker of the House mess. I mean, it really was just a mess. But when you consider that the government had been solid blue the year before, or the past Congress before, uh, I don't really think it's toxicity. I think it's just more trying to find the right man for the job. That being a man who is uh, pleasant, who is good to people, and who is, I mean, not so caught up in the media of things, like trying to cause shock and awe for the American people. And that's kind of what they got with our current Speaker of the House, uh, Mike Johnson, I think. I might be terribly wrong. Is it Mike Johnson? Who? But you get the point. Um, I mean, he's quiet, or he has historically been not super loud, um, and that's kind of made him a very good person for the job. He's not going to run his mouth. He's not going to uh, make the super MAGA Republicans upset at him. He's not going to make the centrist Republicans upset at him. The Democrats, on the other hand, are probably going to refuse to, especially anytime um, the super MAGA side gets this like the majority of how do I put this, the majority of Great, this is my first podcast episode and I'm already struggling. Uh, the majority of like the Republicans on their side of the aisle to oust the current Speaker of the House, the Democrats are going to go along with that, even if it's someone they like, which is weird to me. But American politics is so just utterly me versus you tribalism that it doesn't really surprise me. Let's continue with this um, article, such as the toxicity of the GOP. This makes me not really want to read it anymore because, I mean, I was into it. I was into this whole pantheon of American leaders, but the toxicity of the GOP, I mean, that just makes any, especially conservative people like me, just not super want to read this, to put it eloquently. um, to get the top job. The nomination is an assignment to what may be an impossible political mission to unite a conference that may never be reconciled. Never be reconciled. That is strong words. Even if the nominee wins the gavel, the next speaker has a reasonable chance of a tenure even shorter than McCarthy. That's fair enough. That was bad. But this is about more than the plight of a Republican Party that often looks like it's tearing itself apart, which is horribly ironic considering the Democratic Party has no leadership and is like a complete dysfunctional mess. I mean, it's so bad. Um, I after Kamala Harris lost, um, I don't see who's going to lead the Democratic Party. Uh, besides, I mean, Gavin Newsom is probably their best candidate from California, the governor of California. Besides that, I mean, they're in a bad state while the Republican Party has its eyes set on Donald Trump. Uh, so I don't know why they're saying the government is tearing itself apart or the Republican Party is tearing itself apart, but I mean, I think that's just part of this person's bias. Um, I'm not sure. If the dysfunctional House GOP majority cannot get its act together, the U.S. government could run out of funding before Thanksgiving week. Is this old news? This is old news. Well, I'm still gonna talk about it anyways, because this is like, it's still relevant to today, and I do want to talk about obviously what I consider to be propaganda, even if it's accidental, which I believe someone who is biased enough can accidentally spread propaganda. Uh, like stuff like the toxicity of the GOP and how the Republican Party looks like it's tearing itself apart. Um, as lawmakers returned to Washington on Monday, there was a growing sense of rising public frustration about a House that has been paralyzed for 3 weeks as global crises boil and the shutdown deadline approaches. All right, I'm going to stop the article here. And I want to talk about the government and its inability to work together. Um, our government is like hands down so bad at just working with each other. I mean, throughout my life, I've seen government shutdowns. Oh, we can't raise the debt. We can't. And all of this could be avoided by talking. I feel like these, especially politicians who are well tenured, uh, are more interested in getting their name out there by speaking to the media and saying all sorts of absurd stuff than running our country. Because right Now, Congress is a job for people, and they're taking that job to become kind of like social media influencers, except for instead of having not a super huge effect like most social media influencers have, these people change our lives and they treat our lives like a social media followers, like viewers, instead of like people. And I know because I've heard from certain sources that it's not a majority of the House and of the Senate that tries to be loud, be just obnoxious, but it's there's enough of that just not I don't want to say evil because that's kind of wrong, but just like mean streak in our current government, and that worries me. Um, it worries me. Next year, I'm going to be in college, and I really want to see our government work together. Um, but at its current rate, it's not happening anytime soon, especially because of how controversial Donald Trump is. Um, well, dang, I'm kind of sorry for bringing up old news. I wanted to have some recent stuff, but I don't really know. I tried looking at this one earlier. It's all you have to pay for it, which is I'm not very happy about that. You're a news channel and you make so much money, and we still have to, pay for useful information. I mean, it's just kind of disappointing. Um, oh goodness. Oh, what is this? Pentagon announces its plan to fire 5 to 8% of civilian workforce. Oh no. Okay. Uh, and this is new news. All right, let's read through this a little bit. The Pentagon announced Friday its plans to ultimately fire 5 to 8% of the military's approximately. Uh, I'm bad at numbers, but you get the point. That many people. Oops. With an initial tranche, I've never heard this word before. Of 5,400 probationary workers. Interesting. Okay, so that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Um, but our military budget is sky high right now. And often I see, I'm young, so I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure the biggest expenditure for most companies is their employees. And cutting out this many employees could do wonders for our budget. We're drowning in debt. I wouldn't be surprised if we're over like $36 trillion. I mean, trillion. That's mind-blowingly huge. Um, so I think just cutting, especially because it's we're not sure how useful these employees are. Obviously if you're one of the people here being cut, you consider yourself useful, but um, I don't. We don't know what these people are doing. They could be doing anything from administrative bureaucracy, red tape stuff to, uh, I mean, working inside the McDonald's somewhere over here, because they have a Pentagon McDonald's somewhere, somewhere in this building. Um, but I mean, this could be anything from your designers to your builders, stuff like that. Uh, but mission critical, I believe that's what matters most, especially in our defense program. Um, we really do need to focus on the defense of our country instead of focusing on how many jobs we can give to people. Because ultimately, we can have all of our people employed, but that's not going to matter if our military is weak and inefficient. And sometimes you have to cut dead weight. But this is, I mean, that's really unfortunate. Um, that's a lot of people who are about to lose their job. Well, a small percentage of that is probationary employees. See, that kind of makes sense. If you're going to fire anyone, start with the probationary people. Um, Significant reduction. I don't know if I'd call 5 to 8. Well, I definitely call that a significant reduction. But is there really that many civilians working? Oh, okay. I got it now. It's the military in general. So some military bases have a civilian population that works for them, and I guess that's what they're planning on cutting. I thought it was just talking about in the Pentagon specifically. That's funny. Uh, but I mean, yeah. So I was kind of right about that. There's a lot of not super necessary jobs for the civilian workforce in the Pentagon and in the military in general. Uh, Especially if they're not mission critical, I think they probably should be served elsewhere. Uh, Especially if it could help free up some of that money to pay off our drowning sea of debt. I mean, it's so bad. Earlier on Friday, CNN reported the Defense Department had temporarily paused a plan to carry out mass firings of civilians. Oh my gosh. Probationary employment. Yada yada. Could be fired early next week. Dang, that's fast. I mean, that's really fast. As the secretary made it clear, this is simply not a yada 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 yap yap yap. Oh boy. Oh boy, we're pulling out the Title 10, Section 129A of the U.S. Code. Oh no. Yeah, I'm sure the military has very in-depth laws for firing people, but we really need to free up that money. I mean, and I was just listening to an like a not an article but a speech the other day. Like a bag of bolts, nuts or bolts, costed marked up 1,000%. I think. Uh, it's stuff you could have bought at Home Depot for $5, $4, costed thousands. Stuff like that. If the military is wasting that much money on small stuff, how much money are they wasting on civilians or like work our workforce? Um, I don't. It just worries me, especially because our country is so big and we need a strong defense. Why are we wasting so much money? um, let's see. Is there anything else I notice? Has Pete Hegseth has declined to comment. Really, he declined to comment. Who? I mean, who would have guessed that? Pete Hegseth, interesting guy. I understand why people don't like him, but goodness, people hate. Uh, it's not like he has no military experience. He served as a captain. He may not have served as a four-star general, but I mean, he knows the ins and outs, and he knows what needs to be done. Um, so uh, these probationary employees don't contribute positively to the Pentagon's overall performance because they are no longer needed. I mean, they're no longer needed because you're firing. Okay, so overall, I feel like this is doing really well. I feel like these two people are doing very well to keep their bias out of the this article, and I really, really appreciate that. Uh, Being said, I feel like it definitely leans to the left a little bit. And when I say left, I mean United States left, not like because the actual left is insanely like that's where you veer into like socialism, communism. Our United States left is nothing like that. I mean, our United States left is to the right. It's not even left leaning. You get the point. Uh, I feel like this is biased towards the United States left. That's okay. It's CNN. It's not as it's not as blatant as the oh man, it's not as blatant as the other one, the other stuff. But yeah, uh, I think this is where I'm gonna leave it off for my first episode. I don't know what to call these yet. I'm still getting used to this. Um, and I plan on bringing more like solid facts before I start. I just wanted to get this first episode out as a just a beginning stepping stone. Okay. Um, if you have any just anything to help me do these better, please let me know. Um, Next time we're gonna go over Fox News, and that should be a lot of fun. Um, because Fox News, in my opinion, tends to be a little bit more. Uh, how do I put this? Like it lets out its bias. It lets it show. So yeah, I should have the next episode out either tomorrow or in the next couple of days. Sorry, I just ate. Um, yeah, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. If you didn't, like and subscribe anyways. And if you have any suggestions, comments at all, I mean, you know where the comment section is. So yeah, enjoy. Have a good rest of the day. And this was propaganda control. Propaganda control. This is propaganda patrol.